All right, welcome everyone. This is the Total War Shogun 2 tutorial on basically how to play the game. Crazy Eddie, shout outs to Crazy Eddie. He's been bugging me for a long time to make this thing, so we're gonna make it today. We're gonna do it today. I'm a big fan of the Fall of Samurai, like I guess DLC or expansion for this game, and so that's the one we're gonna use. Pretty much all the principles are the same. It doesn't matter what Total War you're playing. You can do it. It's gonna carry over to any of these. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm a big fan of the Imperial side too. Again, it doesn't really matter which side you're playing or the difficulty. We'll stay on normal for now just so we can progress through the game a little bit. But you can definitely challenge yourself with some higher difficulties if you want. Let's see. Let's just pick an easy one here. We can be, I kind of like the, let's be the Satsuma. Satsuma's nice. They're on their own little island out here. They're fun to start with. So we're going to go over some like basic things. We don't need to get down to battle tactics or anything like that, but we can discuss like generally how to play the game and how to succeed in the game. And it's complicated in the sense that there's multiple avenues. You can't just win battles, although that's a major part of it. You do need to finesse some diplomacy to make sure that you are expanding your economy so you can pay for your army essentially. So we're gonna go in here. This is basically just laying out the beginning of the game for us. We don't really care about that. But we have a nice little army here. All of the campaigns start off basically the same way, where there's somebody invading you, or you have a nearby providence that's like under attack or going to invade you or whatever. So we have here a veteran. They lower your recruitment costs. So it's important to just get them into a city so that you can start building appropriately. So the way that you play this game, obviously each area that you're starting out in is dependent on how, like, what's going on with them. So we're right next to a whole bunch of trade nodes. You can't see them, they're off screen, but there's a whole bunch of trade nodes out here for like Europe and like all this stuff, London. And like that's how we're gonna make our money down here is through naval trade. So we're gonna try to build up a navy down here. We're gonna try to alliance ourselves with our friends up here if possible, and then we're gonna try to push north and like eventually onto the mainland of Japan. It's always good to have a clear goal when you're starting out in Total War. It's like, all right, what are we gonna do here? What is our objective? So if you're starting out in the middle of Japan, for example, you got to watch out. You also have to make sure that you're in line. Your objectives are in line with the main objectives of the game, which we have to own at least 14 provinces, and we have to own Mushini or Mushashi, and this guy too, Yamashiro. We have to own those two. So they're pretty deep in there, but hopefully if we can like kind of skirt along the coast and make some good alliances, we'll end up owning those. All right, let's go back here. This green province here is not our friend at all. Start off with a pretty weak army right now. I'm going to say we should build a cadet school. I think a cadet school is going to be helpful here. I don't know which. I guess this is our only slot to build it in, so we'll build it down here. I think that's going to be helpful. We can upgrade our towns a little bit. I do actually want to upgrade our trade with our port if possible. And we will upgrade our towns too so we can get some more construction. Let's actually upgrade our farming first. So the farming is going to allow us to collect more money, and then with that more money we'll be able to build up our base. All right, it's cool. So let's check out our clan development right now. I always like to prioritize this first just because it lowers the cost of the building unit. So basically this tab here, the clan development, again, you want to prioritize civil and military technology and policy so that it aligns with your overall plan. So we're gonna, once we get lower cost and more efficient policy, we'll start looking into naval research, because again, we're going to try to build up our navy, and then maybe some land unit technology advances as well. Looking at our diplomacy down here, Saga is indifferent with us. They're above us. They're also, you can see up there, their allegiance with Imperial. We're Imperial, so that's a great person to make trades with. So let's see if we can make some trades. They rejected our offer. Never a good sign. Let's see if we can request an alliance with them. Yeah, they're not happy with us. So let's do a trade agreement, and then let's pay them 450 bucks. So we're going to pay him 450 bucks and say, yo, let's make a trade. They don't like us. They just don't like us yet. That's fine. Sometimes it just doesn't work out that way, and that's okay. All right, let's end our turn here. A whole bunch of nothing going on right now. I mean, there's stuff going on. We just can't see it. I think we're going to try... We got a couple options here. We can move our navy to create a blockade against this enemy to our kind of northeast. And I think that's probably what we're going to do. Move these guys up here. So we get visual. Let's hit him with a bombardment too. Didn't do anything, but that's all right. Let's check him out if we can. He's got some line infantry. That's always scary because they're pretty good, especially this early in the game. We're not going to have a lot right now, so we're going to fall into defense mode and try to protect our cities if possible. We have 1,100. Nothing really to recruit right now to waste our money on. Again, we're trying to get some trade out here. Let's see if we can trade.
An unexpected meeting made.
There we go. Sometimes it just takes a turn or two. But now we have trade agreements, so we're going to get even more money coming in, which is fantastic. An additional 800 bucks next turn, which is great. Our ports are building up, and same with our tenant farm, so we'll be able to generate some more wealth there. Basically, we just have to hold off until we can start pumping out actual fightable units. Since spearmen and levy infantry are just not worth it to use. So we're going to keep going here. And again, it's all about planning 3 or 4 or even 5 steps down the road in terms of, okay, what am I going to do? So, and making preparations to hit those objectives. Let's see here. Capture this province. That's what he wants. We'll be able to get the Emperor's Mandate if we do that. Which increases the spread of our pro-imperial sentiment across all provinces by 2, which is perfect. So we want to minimize if possible.
Ready for orders.
Let's attack that port. Shut off their trade if they have any. Again, everything's just building up, and we're saving money right now, which is important, especially if we're going to crank out some line infantry, which are kind of expensive. Maybe we can get lucky here and even get the Saga as a alliance. Not yet. Not yet. That's all right, though. They are our vassal down there. They're doing good. All right, cool. So again, we're just trying to build up right now. Once we get into late game, that's when it's the issue of like managing your alliances. Well, what we're doing right now is managing our alliances and building alliances up so that when we get to late game, not everyone hates us. And that's like a big part of this game, is managing your relationships. All right, we were able to hurt some of the general, which is perfect. And we have our cadet school. So let's see, we can build some line infantrymen, and the cost is reduced because we have the general in here. Oh, he's unable to level up at this time, but maybe when we start cranking out some units, we'll be able to do so. So let's build like 3 of those. So again, we're just preparing. We know what our objective is to take over that province that's to our northeast. They're actually running away right now, which is helpful for us. And we're in the springtime now too, which is perfect for what we're trying to do. So let's build 2 more. Will we meet them in the open battlefield? I don't know if we will. Cavalry are great for open field engagements, but when you are not... where's a trade ship? Can we build a trade ship yet? We can't. That's fine. All right, let's just go. And then next turn, we will invade. And this will just give you kind of a microcosm into how to think about playing this game. And again, it's what am I trying to do? Where am I trying to get to? How do I want to get there? And then who do I need to keep calm in order to do that? So looking at our things, we just want to keep everybody friendly. We can trade with these people now, so let's trade
So, my friend,
to boost our economy even more. It's always good just to look at this tab and make sure, even with some people who are hostile or like not imperial friendly, if you are imperial or vice versa, super important to just manage that. Let's take one of you and all of our linemen, infantry, and let's head up this way. It's gonna take 3 turns to get up there. A pretty strong army for kind of the beginning of the game. Line infantry are pretty like their stats are pretty good. They're pretty good. They can hold their own, which is really good. So we're gonna keep kind of nailing away here at the city. We don't have the ability to buy anything right now, so we're just gonna go ahead. Let's just make sure. Okay, so we are done with that. We don't need fire arrows or anything. 5% replenishment's pretty good. But we do need this in order to get to the shipyard, so we're gonna do that. And sometimes at the beginning of the game, you'll even have to take over some of your, you know, like surrounding friends even. So you'll have to make that decision at some point. But try to stay honorable if possible, because it makes the game a lot easier. Also, prioritize for land battles. Prioritize, if possible, especially with where we're starting out, having amphibious assaults, meaning a naval unit near a base or an army that you're going to attack so that they can help, as well as prioritize artillery units, because they can do a lot of damage. They can do a lot of damage here. We're gonna keep building up our army right now. And boats, I would naval units in particular, they cost a lot to upkeep, so it's pretty like at the beginning of the game, it's fine to not really dive into that right away, because you're looking at your finances, you're gonna see like naval upkeep, we only have 2, and it's, you know, 250 for just 2 units, whereas our army is, you know, 12 units or something. This is like 8 right here, and then we got, you know, 5 or 6 down here, and then another 2 for 1,400. The cost is way more per unit. I mean, we could even tax them high right now, so we're gonna do that just to bring in even more money if possible. And hopefully not piss them off. It's just a balance. At this low difficulty, you won't have too many uprisings and stuff, but with higher difficulty, it's a balance of putting down rebellions, getting enough money, and taking over enemy areas. Hey, perfect. He leveled up, which is great. He's going to be able to help us out a little bit. So let's check that out. What are we doing? Resolve sabotage. We're not using him to sabotage. We're using him for military administration, so we're going to level that up. We're going to go over here. These are randomized. I mean, +5 accuracy is excellent. This is also more accuracy and reloading. This just sounds even better, so we're going to go with that. So now the people we crank out of here are going to be well trained, which is fantastic. Let's look at the army. Yeah, he's got a lot of linemen. What we're going to do is this is what I do a lot of the time to win battles, especially like I'm going to go up here and it's going to say we're going to lose by a lot. And that's probably true. But what we're going to do is we're just going to wait. We're just going to continue the siege. And we're going to hammer them with amphibious assaults. Maybe we'll bring some more of our linemen up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring them out of the castle. Because when they're in their fortified position, it's going to be tough. But we're starving them right now. And eventually, they're going to have to come out. And once we get them out, we'll be able to have a more even battle. Such as right now. A little earlier than we were hoping for, but this is fine. We have our amphibious assault. So we're on defense right now. They have superior numbers. By the tune of about 600. This is going to be a... I feel like we can win this. Their only cavalry are their generals, which they might utilize this one. We'll be able to defend that though. So let's fight this battle. This is going to be a good battle, and I'll be able to show you some techniques in terms of this game's or like not the game, but the expansion, to set yourself up for success. So what we want to do is utilize we want to create the largest field of attack possible. And what that means is each unit in front of them has a, especially with guns, have a range. Well, you'll be able to see this right here. And we want to maximize that. So what we do is we spread our line as thin as possible, which gives us the most amount of range and coverage with our with each unit. We'll pivot our flanks to prevent any cavalry flanking, but I don't feel like that will happen very much. Let's utilize this terrain as well. So what we're going to want, we're going to try to push them into this crevasse, this little gorge here. So this is going to be a cool battle. Let's see how it pays off. All right, we're going to put you guys up here. And again, we're going to maximize the range. So 2 on the line is going to give you the max amount of coverage. Right? That's like our widest area of coverage right now. We'll set these guys up here. And we'll set these guys up here. Move these guys over here actually a little bit. So when the battle starts, we're gonna move them up to the top of this ridge. These are, where are you? This is our general. We'll move you over here somewhere for right now. This is our other general. We're gonna move him over here for right now. Perfect. We have our spearmen in the middle. They're gonna be holding the middle down. And we're gonna have our butts too, and our butts are gonna be able to help us out quite a bit.
We are ready to defend.
So let's set this up in a way where we can do some damage here.
Spears ready, sir. Moving forward, my lord. Line infantry.
Spread them up there like that. Cool. Get them moving. What we're trying to do is just waste as much time as possible so that this little naval support here on the right can fill up and we can really smash into them a little bit. It's always good to manage or just look at what they're doing over here. They have to attack us. So if they don't come to us, we're going to win by default, essentially. So we have a pretty good setup here. We got the high ground for the most part. Let's just move this guy here. Really set that up a little bit. High ground here as well.
General's guard. On the line, sir. Let them stay still.
Let's bait them in.
Sweep them from the field.
Okay. They are falling for it. They're going into the middle, which is perfect.
Line infantry.
That's some line infantry.
On the line, sir. Ready for orders, sir.
So yeah, that overlapping coverage, that's what you want in each battle. We're almost full. They're going to be walking into our kind of death trap here, hopefully, soon.
Line.
And hopefully they won't be able to reach us. We'll be able to reach them. Perfect. Already hitting them. That's fantastic.
Yarikapi ready, sir. Double.
We'll pull them in, and then we're gonna drop our naval bombardment on them here shortly. We've already killed their general. That's fantastic. We're hitting them on the sides here. Close that flank. Hit them right here. The naval bombardment.
On the line, sir.
We'll take our general down here, give him a rally. Take our other general, bring him over here. This should start blowing up here shortly.
Sir, your general is under attack.
Already repelled one of their deals here. There comes the bombardment. Perfect. Flank them out. Hit him on the flank. We're gonna attack their general. We've already repelled that. Let's turn you, come on. Turn you right there. Just like that. Perfect. We've pretty much fucked them already. Pretty much fucked them already. It's pretty much a win. This is how you play this game. It's just kind of calculated. Again, you just need to know.
General, sir.
Killed their other general. Perfect. I don't know where are these guys. I guess we're chasing after them. And we won. Perfect. That's how you do it. Very simple, very easy. Let's look at the statistics here. But I think, what were we? 1,300 and they were 1,900. I'm going to say that we killed... I'm going to say we killed 1,100 of their guys. Or routed 1,100. And I'm going to say we lost about 300. That's what I'm going to guess. Based on what I saw, that's what I'm going to say. All right, they killed about 300, and we killed actually 1,800. We killed a lot. We killed all of them. Okay. So now here's something that will affect late game play, and it's loot, peacefully occupy, or make a vassal. I've never really been interested in making a vassal because I've had them like turn on me in the past. It just doesn't seem worth it for the amount of money that you get, which is like half of their income. But I mean, it can be helpful in situations. I'm more of a peacefully occupy or loot kind of person, and you can see here it's like we won't make a lot of money. We'll keep their buildings intact, and they'll be happy. Or we'll get a lot of money, and we won't make a lot of money though from the town. We'll have to rebuild it, and they're gonna be really pissed about it. So right now in its early game, there's not a lot of people pissed at us. Looting is not a bad option, especially if you're in a pinch for money. The only thing you have to prepare is that, you have to take into account is in 3 or 4 turns, you know that they're gonna probably start a revolt. So you're gonna have to squash that. So if you have the time and the resources and you're not pinched on a couple of different fronts, this is the play typically to do. And that's what we're gonna do is we're gonna burn the city to the ground. We're going to loot it, and we're going to get all the money for us. So now we have 11,000 gold, which is a lot. And the Emperor's already like, yo, you're pretty cool, which is awesome. So we're going to rebuild all this, which doesn't take a lot of money at all. Let's see. What's the cost to rebuild her? Shouldn't it tell me? 400 for this, 300, so 700, almost 800. And this one is another 700 bucks. So whatever. I mean, we'll take it. We're still at 10,000. It gives us the opportunity to build higher tenant farms, also another port. This will just give us more money, so why not? We have a decent little navy right now. We got some more of these. Let's see. They're also at peace. Let's check out our diplomacy. Unfriendly, but we can trade with them. So let's get a trade agreement going just so we can get some more money. They'll want to trade with us too. They are directly to the north of us, and I assume at some point we will need to invade them. It's just going to happen. They're just in our way. Regardless of the amount of money, it's probably best for us that we're going to eventually invade them. Since we have a cadet school up here, we don't need to move those armies up there anymore. People are pissed. We could remember to lower our taxes. Speaking of that, I think we're just going to lower... let's see, we go from 12 to 9. It's fine. We just made a whole bunch of money. So we're going to bring our taxes back to normal. People are kind of pissed, but we're going to keep levying taxes from this newly taken city, and eventually we know that we're going to have to make a fight there. Now we have like $4,000 to spend, and we could, and we probably will do this, which is increase one of our towns to a large town. And then what that's going to do is allow us to levy higher taxes and allow the building to expand, or the city to expand with more populace, and we can build something else because of that. So that's pretty much it for the tutorial. I mean, it's pretty much keeping these basic tenets in mind, which is, again, they're pissed, whatever. It's create a plan as to where you're trying to get to and how you're trying to get to it. Remember that diplomacy is a huge mechanic in this game. It's very, very important that you monitor how everyone is looking at you. And these people are friendly, and we have even one that's very friendly, which is fantastic. And keeping that at that level of like friendship to the very end of the middle game, which is when you own enough provinces where you have the decision to take on the emperor or shogunate and win everything for yourself, which means that pretty much all of your alliances will evaporate, or keeping your friendship and alliances intact with those that are aligned with your side, so that you can eventually win the game. Either way, the one's a little bit more challenging, obviously, but that's really about it. We dove into kind of tactics too, in terms of like battle tactics and things like that. It's always good to have a plan, no matter what you're doing in this game. It's just you have to plan it out ahead of time, and that's my biggest tip I can give you, is just figure out where you want to go. So if I was to continue this, it would be, we would pump out some more naval units here and begin an assault on this province up here, these two provinces up here, pull in this this nation right here with an alliance
Well,
eventually at some point.
welcome.
And then move north. Now, obviously, everything's not going to go to plan, and you need to have contingencies. But overall, you need to figure out a way to hit your main objective. And the way that you do that is just little plans at a time, and then kind of going with the flow. I don't really know what else to say to that. But again, you can give your people in your diplomacy tab, you can give them gifts. So even though we're very friendly with them, we're probably going to end up taking everything from them. Same with this guy right here too. But Saga we can keep. Saga's pretty good. So we can give them payments, or eventually we can arrange a marriage or whatever. Like there's a lot of things you can do in the diplomacy section to balance it all out, to make it all kind of work. So that's what I would recommend, is just if you're struggling in the late game with people hating you and everyone turning on you and your generals defecting. Well, generals are a little bit different, but because that's the girl dancers. But essentially, if you're struggling with diplomacy, take time, especially in the early game, to build up relationships with the people that you're trading around you. Understand those that the ones you're prioritize, the ones that you want to keep. Trade with the ones that you're going to eventually screw over, but never really alliance with them, because if you alliance and then break that, it really affects diplomacy with the other people, because they like register that you're a liar basically and don't like that. But yeah, I would really just kind of focus on the diplomacy tab more. That's probably where people get like paid the least amount of attention, because they're just like, trade with me, whatever. Oh, you don't want to, whatever, fine. But what you really want to do is just focus on building up those relationships. All right, that's going to be it for my short tutorial here on how to play Shogun 2 Total War, or just Total War in general, really. To summarize, if I was going to summarize it, it's have a plan of what you want to do and how you're going to execute that plan. It would be prioritize your relationships via the diplomacy tab. Prioritize based on the plan that you have. Also, based on the plan you have, prioritize clan development. So knowing that I'm more of a naval-based, country, I'm going to prioritize Navy. It just kind of makes sense, right? So know your plan, prioritize both diplomacy and clan development to hit those goals so you can execute your plan. And then within battle stages, try to maximize your field of attack. Try to utilize the terrain to your advantage and to their disadvantage. As well as try to flanking is huge in this game, in every Total War. So always try to pivot someone to hit a flank of your enemies. You can, as I demonstrated, you can really effectively diminish the power and a striking ability of a larger force by doing so. So we were able to take on, a 1900 unit army versus our 1300, and with well-placed armies, with effective coverage, and with flanking maneuvers as well as artillery strike, we were able to decimate them. Like literally, they all died, and we lost 300. So that's pretty good outcome there. So that's really it. Thank you so much for watching. Follow the YouTube. Smash that motherfucking like button, motherfuckers. Have a good day, all you dreamers and creamers out there. Thanks for watching.